they are definitely ready to take over. So Libiel, they putting stuff in our meat. All of it is planned. One world government. China is the world leader now. Faith in God. Hey fam, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Shauna and I'm officially checking in over here at Moments with Us. Hopefully you all are doing well, and let's get started with today's video. Hey family, welcome back. Welcome back. In today's video, like we do every other Saturday, we're going to be jumping right into our news, comments, and reports. I'm going to leave a second here for you guys to check in. Let us know where you are checking in from and how are you doing. Let's go ahead, get started right into today's video. If you are new here and you enjoy these kind of videos, as well as taking trips to certain stores known as walkthroughs, this is a great time for you to subscribe and become a part of our family. Such a great community over here, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in advance. If you guys like the video, please don't forget to press the like button. And like I said, be sure to check in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's news, comments, and reports. So let me start off by saying there's so much going on in the world that it is just so hard to keep up. But one article that did catch my attention is a third major bank has now collapsed as regulators seized First Republic Bank and they sold it to JP Morgan, which is Chase. So let us know if you guys know about that and how do you guys feel about that, because so many banks are shuttering, you guys. It's just ridiculous. I feel as if cash alone would be non-existent before we even know it. So over in Sweden, I believe that they're almost fully a cashless society if they aren't already. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Sweden is one of the first countries who actually went ahead and switched over to the whole cashless society. There's more countries, don't get me wrong, but I think Sweden is the first country to switch fully over to being cashless. Like even during their transition, if a person wanted to pay in cash, they had the legal right to reject the cash. Literally, by law, they had the legal right for a while to reject a cash payment. So I think, yeah, that is Sweden, you guys, where they're fully digital. So their forms of payment would actually be credit card, debit card, digital payments, RFID signals, digital wallets, and so on. Anything that is digital. So if they have fully converted over to, you know, everything cashless, this will make Sweden the first cashless country in the world, you guys. And best to believe that there will be more to follow, because usually what happens is one country see another country doing something and it's working for them, and the people, their people is better lined up in line, basically. Another country will follow, then it'll go down to, you know, certain states, and then the other states will follow, so on and so on and so on. You guys get it. And boom, that's what we have to look forward to. Slowly over here in the States, we are definitely going cashless. We've been cashless. We've been talking about this, I think, in every single Saturday video to kind of get people more prepared. You know, I think I mentioned last video, even though they already know majority about us, but when it comes down to using cash, at least every single purchase that you make isn't tracked. But now, if you can't use cash and you have to have a card to do everything, every single purchase would be tracked, meaning you wouldn't be able to get away with bloody murder if you wanted to. But yeah, we're going to say that for another time. Let's go on to the next. So people across social media is starting to notice more and more labels of the bioengineered food is being put on foods that it was not there before, such as mayonnaise. Someone claimed that this label was not on mayonnaise before up until very recent. I'm not too sure because I honestly never checked my mayonnaise to see if it ever said bioengineered, and it doesn't say bioengineered ingredient. It says from a bioengineered source. So, you know, they changed the wording up just a little bit, but it still definitely means the same thing. And as time go on, more and more food items are going to have this label. Nothing is actually natural unless you are growing it yourself, bringing the meat in yourself. Unless you're doing it all yourself, nothing that we're buying out the stores is technically natural unless it's like whole foods, like, you know, your vegetables, your fruits, you know, certain things like that. But there's always something added into the food that we buy from the stores to keep its freshness and things like that. So a few comments off of the whole mayonnaise that contained a bioengineered source. Someone came and said, what's acceptable in the United States of America is not in most and all other countries. That in itself tells you something. And which is very true, because a lot of the stuff that is allowed to be put in the foods over here in America is not allowed to be put in food, even allowed in their countries and other places. But the stuff that is allowed over here is ridiculous. The same thing that is used for oil in your car, for instance, it's the same thing that is allowed to be put in foods. You think they allow that in other countries? Oh, no, they don't. You know, do they really give a crap about Americans? Do they? Do they? But if you make it look good, taste good, smell good, then automatically you're going to think it's good. And I think majority of us fall victim of that. You know, I myself, I'm not in denial about it. I know the truth and I'm not in denial about it, but that's what it is. You know, you make it look good, smell good, taste good, and boom, you know, from there on, you know, you're going to have it. Simple. And it comes all the way from childhood up until adulthood. Some things that you carry on with you. But once you know the truth, then you start making those little changes. And then it's all up to you from there. But some things are just inevitable. Someone comes through and says, just not good. And then someone else says, no, this isn't good at all, really, especially because most people aren't even aware or simply don't care. We're being poisoned for profit. I'm not sure we can avoid it at this point. And you know what? This person right here who's saying we're being poisoned for profit. It's not even just in the food. Think about the vaccines that they're giving out. Thinking about the stuff that they're putting in the air. Honestly, guys, we are definitely being poisoned for profit because we are living. We do work to build up their country. And then they go and say, make America great again. When we are actually being attacked from all angles. And then people say, you know, we are worth more dead than we are worth alive. But we are working ourselves to death to try to keep this country going. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I sit here and I try to make it make sense to myself, but I can't beat myself up trying to make it make sense. Because it won't happen, right? It's like one of them little puzzles with 2 million pieces. It can go on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not going to stay on this subject right here. But it is a great conversation to have. And I want you guys to leave how you see it, of course, in the comments down below. I don't know if you guys know that song, Who Run the World, Girls? And I was thinking of that song, like, Who Run the World? And of course, you guys know what my answer was. So I saw this over on Facebook. It says breaking news, basically. City of Dallas disrupted by a large cyber attack impacting multiple services. So the city of Dallas in Texas experienced a large cyber attack that affected many important computer systems. As a result, it became difficult for the city to function properly. For instance, the computer assistant dispatch system used by 911 dispatchers was not working. So they had to write down reports and give them to officers manually instead of submitting them electronically. To avoid the attack from spreading, the city had to turn off of some of its IT systems. So over in Dallas, they did have a cyber attack. And believe it or not, actually, it's been going on for some days. They have been under attack for some days. So just imagine, let's say this is a high crime area. And let's say all of the police stations in that high crime area was all of a sudden under a cyber attack. And these reports had to been handwritten and given to officers. You know how much chaos it would be in that one neighborhood? And if war was to start, and it was to start with just cyber attacks alone, and they shut it down, get into a lot of different systems and shut it down. They can make things as chaotic as they want it to be, technically, because certain companies, certain businesses, certain districts can't even function correctly without their technology. And there it is. Now back to this comment from the very, very beginning. Libiel, thank you so much for leaving this comment. They are putting stuff in our meat. All of it is planned. One world government. China is the world leader now. Faith in God. Some things I want to point out. There is claims. Well, it's actually happening that they are putting a jab into the meat. But some are saying, if you're cooking your meat thoroughly, all of that stuff, it goes out anyway. If you're cooking it thoroughly, all of that stuff, it goes right on out and it won't actually get into your system. That's what's being said. The one world government situation, most definitely. But can you imagine one world government right now, with as many people in the world as it is? One world government is something that they definitely are pushing for. And I believe that's one of the reasons why they are trying to depopulize basically the world. I'm not going to say just certain countries in our states. They are trying to get rid of as many people as they can, so it can be easier to control, X amount of people versus controlling X amount of people. If you kind of get what I'm saying. So depopulation is something that's very, 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 very real, China being a new leader, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. So can plenty of you definitely see that as well. Yeah, so guys, definitely continue living your life the way that you want to live your life. Continue to find your happiness within yourself, because that's the only way to actually be truly happy, especially in all the crap that's going on. Finding happiness and within yourself is what's mostly important. So guess what, y'all? I'm going to go ahead and check out. One thing that I did want to go ahead and mention, something that was mentioned in the comments by Nene. There's some comments that I was not able to get back to. I kind of messed up on my end as well. One question I wanted to answer is Double D. I did see a comment way back. I don't know if I responded to your comment. What I think happened was I pressed the heart and then I didn't go back to answer comments. So Double D, you did ask me which phone am I using for my director's view camera. So I have the Samsung Galaxy, I think it's the S22 Ultra, where I'm able to record myself and record what I'm looking at in front of me. I'll put an example right here. You did ask that question, so there's your answer. So it's a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. That's the phone I'm using to record. And also, Nene over at Nene's Prepping Kitchen, she did say that she heard somewhere that they was going to be rolling out some summer PEBT benefits in certain states. So you guys will have to check with your local state services to see if any PEBT would be sent out to you guys. I know over here in New Jersey, PEBT, as soon as I saw her comment, PEBT was actually sent out to, it was families with children under the age of 5. There was PEBT that was just recently sent out. It was like $20-something per child for each child that was under 5 or something like that. So reach out to your district to see if any PEBT would be loaded onto those PEBT cards, or simply check them and let us know if you receive some more PEBT. I know a lot of people can use it right now. So this is Shauna. I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us. Make sure that you all stay prepped, stay blessed, stay safe, and most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. Until next video, I'm officially out of here. Peace.